For centuries, sea beasts have surfaced to wreak havoc against humankind. In response, sailors known as hunters venture outward on their ships to hunt the beasts across the ocean, the most famous and successful of these being the crew of the Inevitable, led by the legendary Captain Crow, his first mate Sarah Sharp, and his adopted son Jacob Holland. The hunters are financially backed by the King and Queen of the Crown, who have established a distinguished society, dubbed Three Bridges as a result of the hunters' success over the centuries. After nearly being killed during a hunt, Crow tells Jacob he will make him captain, once they kill a female sea beast known as the Red Bluster, that took his eye decades earlier. The crew returns to Three Bridges to collect payment for their latest catch, but the King and Queen inform them that they will soon be replaced by a naval vessel, named Imperator, headed by Admiral Hornagold, the latter of whom feels the hunters are outdated, and will carry on the hunting of sea beasts in their place. This angers Crow and Sarah, and nearly results in their arrest, before Jacob proposes that his crew be given one more chance to kill the Red Bluster to prove their worth. The King, Queen, and Hornagold accept, with the Crown declaring a contest between the crews of the Imperator and Inevitable, and the winner being allowed to hunt the sea beasts in their name. After they depart, the crew discovers an orphan girl named Maisie Brumble has stowed away on the ship to join them, having been inspired to do so by her late parents, who were themselves hunters.
Well, we're dropping you off at the nearest port.
The Inevitable finds and attacks the Red Bluster. When the ship is in danger of being pulled under by the Bluster, against Crow's orders, Jacob hesitantly allows Maisie to cut a rope connecting the ship to the Bluster, which saves the crew, but lets the Bluster escape, and throws Jacob and Maisie into the sea. Angered, Crow holds both of them at gunpoint, and demands Jacob bring Maisie to him, before the Bluster emerges from the depths, and swallows Maisie and Jacob. The Bluster takes Jacob and Maisie to an isolated island, populated by several other beasts. Maisie discovers that the Bluster is not malicious, and befriends the beast, naming her Red, while also befriending a smaller beast named Blue. Maisie begins to believe the monsters are really just misunderstood creatures, which Jacob initially denies. Jacob and Maisie convince Red to take them to Rum Pepper Island, so they can secure a ship to return to Three Bridges. Believing Jacob to be dead, a grieving Crow seeks out an elderly merchant named Gwen Batterby, who gives Crow a poison-tipped harpoon, powerful enough to kill Red. While traveling on Red's back, Jacob and Maisie bond with the creature, with Jacob growing to support Maisie's belief that the beasts are innocent. They reach Rum Pepper Island, but discover the Imperator and Hornagold are stationed there. Red attacks the vessel after being shot at by a crew member, and inadvertently wounds Maisie in the scuffle. After destroying the Imperator, Jacob momentarily stops Red from killing Hornagold. Red spots the Inevitable, and attacks, but is shot with a poison-tipped harpoon, and nearly dies, with Crow keeping her alive long enough to bring her to the Crown as a trophy. Maisie is nursed back to health, but then imprisoned aboard the Inevitable, as it arrives at Three Bridges with Red in tow. After Blue frees Maisie, she realizes the hatred of sea beasts is simply propaganda created by the Crown to extend their rule. Crow prepares to publicly execute Red, before being stopped by Jacob. Crow and Jacob fight, while Maisie and Sarah, who begins to believe Maisie's worldview of the beasts, free Red from her binds. Maisie and Jacob convince Red to spare Crow, subsequently exposing the Crown for their deceptions. After witnessing the passive nature of the beasts, Crow and the rest of the kingdom renounce their beliefs. With Red and the other sea beasts left alone, Maisie, Jacob, and Blue begin their new lives together as a family.
I don't think about it much though.